Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Forever in Memory. In this video, we'll be honoring American celebrities who have passed away today and in recent days, along with other notable figures from around the world. Before we begin, please show your support by giving this video a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you. And let's get started.
28 September 2025, Russell M. Nelson passed away, a man whose life was defined by faith, healing, and devoted service to millions around the world. As the 17th president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, he guided one of the world's largest religious communities with compassion, wisdom, and unwavering belief. To countless believers, he was more than a leader. He was a spiritual father, a healer of both body and soul, and a living example of humility and dedication. Russell Marion Nelson was born on 9 September 1924 in Salt Lake City, Utah, United States of America. Before he became a global religious figure, he was a world-renowned heart surgeon. A pioneer in cardiovascular surgery, he helped develop the first artificial heart-lung machine, performing groundbreaking operations that saved countless lives. His medical career alone would have left a lasting legacy, but his calling was far greater. In 1984, Nelson was called as a member of the Quorum of the 12, and from that moment, his life became wholly devoted to serving God and his children. His teachings emphasized faith in Jesus Christ, the importance of personal revelation, and the eternal significance of family. As president of the church, he traveled the globe to meet members personally, speaking words of hope, unity, and peace. Under his leadership, the church expanded its global outreach and placed renewed focus on spiritual connection and temple worship. Those who met him remembered not just the leader, but the man, gentle, deeply kind, and endlessly curious. He often reminded others that joy is found not in worldly achievements, but in following the Savior and loving one another. His words comforted the grieving, inspired the weary, and strengthened the faithful. Today, the world bids farewell to a man who touched countless lives, in hospital rooms, in congregations, and in hearts across the globe. Russell M. Nelson's journey on earth has ended, but his legacy of faith, compassion, and service will continue to guide generations yet to come. May his memory be a blessing, and his teachings a light that never fades.
29 September 2025. Jean-Michel Ferrand passed away, a man whose voice echoed for decades in the political halls of France, known for his passionate convictions, sharp rhetoric, and unwavering dedication to the values he believed in. As a prominent figure of the French right and a long-serving member of the National Assembly, Ferrand was a politician who left no one indifferent. Admired by supporters for his strength of character and criticized by opponents for his boldness, but always respected for his devotion to public service. Jean-Michel Ferrand was born on 31 August 1942 in Gardanne, France. His path to politics was not driven by ambition alone, but by a deep desire to shape the future of his country. After studying law and political science, he entered public life determined to defend the principles that mattered most to him: order, tradition, and national identity. Over the decades, he became a recognizable voice in the National Assembly, representing the Vaucluse department and earning a reputation as a passionate speaker and a relentless advocate for his constituents. Ferrand's political career was marked by his strong stances on immigration, culture, and national unity. He was known for speaking his mind, often challenging conventional opinions and sparking debates that stretched far beyond the walls of Parliament. Even when faced with criticism or political setbacks, he remained loyal to his beliefs, embodying the image of a politician for whom service meant more than popularity. Beyond the fiery speeches and the political battles, Ferrand was deeply committed to the people he served. He believed that a representative's duty was not only to legislate, but to listen, and those who met him often recalled his attentiveness and willingness to help with even the smallest local concerns. Today, as France bids farewell to Jean-Michel Ferrand, it remembers a man who devoted his life to public service, who fought for what he believed in, and whose voice shaped debates for generations.
29 September 2025, Ray Lane passed away. A name that resonated deeply in the world of American business and technology. Known for his visionary leadership, strategic brilliance, and ability to transform companies from the inside out, Lane was one of Silicon Valley's most influential figures. As a top executive at Oracle and later a leading venture capitalist, he played a crucial role in shaping the digital landscape of the modern era, helping countless startups grow into global powerhouses. Ray Lane was born in the United States and grew up with a natural curiosity for how things worked, not just machines and systems, but organizations and people. After earning his education in business and management, he quickly rose through the corporate ranks, gaining recognition for his innovative thinking and leadership style that balanced bold ambition with careful strategy. His most notable chapter began at Oracle, where he served as president and chief operating officer during a period of explosive growth. Lane's leadership helped the company evolve from a software provider into a dominant force in enterprise technology, redefining how businesses around the world operated. Later, as a venture capitalist, he continued to shape the future of technology, guiding and investing in companies that would become household names in the tech ecosystem. But beyond boardrooms and balance sheets, Ray Lane was respected for his mentorship and humanity. He believed that technology was not just about products, but about people, about empowering ideas, nurturing talent, and building solutions that make life better. Colleagues often described him as both a strategist and a teacher, someone who could see the potential in an idea long before others did. Today, as the tech world says goodbye to Ray Lane, it honors more than a business leader. It remembers a visionary who helped write the story of Silicon Valley. His influence lives on in the countless companies he built, the leaders he mentored, and the innovations he made possible. May his legacy continue to inspire future generations to dream big, think boldly, and lead with purpose.
29 September 2025, Enzo Ozella passed away. A name that will forever resonate with passion, precision, and perseverance in the world of motorsport. He was not just a car constructor or a team owner. He was a dreamer who built his legacy from the ground up, transforming a small workshop in Italy into a respected name on the international racing stage. His life's journey was a story of relentless ambition, love for speed, and the courage to chase impossible goals. Born on 26 August 1939 in Volpiano, a small town near Turin, Italy, Enzo grew up surrounded by the post-war spirit of rebuilding and innovation. From a young age, he was fascinated by engines, the hum of machinery, the smell of oil, the pulse of racing circuits. What began as a childhood fascination soon became a lifelong calling. He started his career as a mechanic, learning every bolt and gear by hand, and quickly developed a reputation for his meticulous attention to detail and technical brilliance. In the 1960s and 70s, Osella Racing had become a respected name in Formula One, a rare feat for a small independent team. His cars may not have dominated the podium, but they represented something even more enduring, the spirit of innovation and resilience. Each car bore the mark of his relentless pursuit of perfection, built with passion rather than corporate budgets. Enzo's career was not without challenges. Competing against industry titans with limited funding often felt like an uphill battle. Yet, time and again, Osella refused to give up. His teams became known for punching above their weight, challenging expectations, inspiring young engineers, and nurturing talented drivers who would go on to achieve greatness. For Enzo, racing was never just about winning trophies. It was about pushing boundaries, embracing risk, and celebrating the human ingenuity that turns metal and fuel into speed and glory. Away from the circuits, Osella was known as a humble, deeply passionate man, someone who preferred the noise of an engine to the spotlight of fame. He remained closely involved in his team's operations, even as the years passed, often found in the garage, sleeves rolled up, offering advice or adjusting a part himself. His love for motorsport was not just a profession. It was his heartbeat. Today, the world of racing mourns the loss of a pioneer whose legacy was built not on wealth or power, but on dedication and belief. Enzo Osella proved that even a small team with a big dream can leave an indelible mark on the sport.
29 September 2025. Georg Stefan Troller passed away, a storyteller, journalist, and documentarian whose voice shaped the way Europe understood itself in the turbulent decades of the 20th and 21st centuries. Known for his deeply human interviews and groundbreaking documentaries, Troller spent his life seeking not headlines, but human truth, exploring the fragile, beautiful, and often painful stories hidden behind ordinary faces. He was born in Vienna, Austria, in 1921, into a Jewish family whose peaceful life was shattered by the rise of Nazism. Fleeing his homeland as a teenager, Troller eventually found refuge in the United States, where he served in the U.S. Army during the Second World War, before returning to Europe. This early experience, the trauma of exile, the brutality of war, and the longing for home, shaped not only his worldview, but the soul of his future work. Troller became one of the most distinctive journalistic voices in post-war Europe. His long-running series, Personenbeschreibung, Description of a Person, and numerous documentaries for German and French television set new standards for documentary storytelling. He didn't chase celebrities or power. He listened to people, refugees, artists, criminals, politicians, and dreamers. His style was intimate and probing, often revealing more in a quiet pause or a subtle question than others could in hours of interrogation. What made Troller extraordinary was his ability to turn interviews into literature. He approached each conversation not as a reporter seeking facts, but as a witness seeking understanding. He believed that behind every biography, no matter how small, lay a universe of meaning. His empathy, his curiosity, and his unwavering belief in the dignity of every life
made him one of the most respected journalists of his generation. Today, as Europe mourns Georg Stefan Troller, it remembers more than a journalist. It remembers a man who turned the chaos of history into stories that touched the heart. His words taught us that every life is worth listening to, and that even in the darkest times, human stories can illuminate the path forward. May his legacy continue to remind us of the power of empathy and the enduring strength of the human spirit. 29th September 2025. Jim Bradley passed away. A devoted Canadian politician whose life's work was not defined by grand speeches or personal ambition, but by an unshakable belief that government exists to serve the people. For more than 4 decades, Bradley was a steady, trusted presence in Canadian public life, known for his integrity, compassion, and tireless dedication to his community. Born in Sudbury, Ontario in 1945, Jim grew up in a working-class family where values like fairness, hard work, and service to others were not more than words, they were a way of life. Before entering politics, he worked as a teacher, inspiring young minds and developing the deep understanding of ordinary Canadians that would later shape his political career. Those early years taught him that leadership is not about authority, but about listening, a lesson he would carry with him into the legislative halls. Bradley's political journey began at the municipal level and soon extended to the provincial stage, where he served as a member of provincial parliament in Ontario for decades. His work spanned multiple ministries, including environment, transportation, and municipal affairs, and in each role, he left a mark of quiet but profound change. Known as a consensus builder and a principled advocate, he often worked behind the scenes to craft policies that improved public education, protected natural resources, and strengthened local governance. But perhaps more important than any single policy was the way Jim Bradley approached his calling. He never treated politics as a career, it was a duty. Constituents remember him as a man who returned every phone call, who showed up at every town meeting, who listened with patience and respect even when he disagreed. His humility and dedication earned him the rarest of honors in modern politics, the genuine love and trust of the people he served. Today, Canada bids farewell to a public servant who believed deeply in the power of democracy to change lives. Jim Bradley's name may not have been shouted on the global stage, but in countless homes, schools, and neighborhoods across Ontario, his work quietly improved the quality of life for generations. May he be remembered not just for the offices he held, but for the dignity with which he held them. A man who entered public service not for recognition, but to make a difference, and who leaves behind a legacy of integrity, kindness, and hope.
Bradley Cooper was born on January 5, 1975, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, into a warm and close-knit family that valued education, curiosity, and creativity. His father, Charles, worked as a stockbroker, and his mother, Gloria, was employed at a local NBC affiliate, providing Bradley and his older sister, Holly, with a stable and loving home. From an early age, Cooper was marked by an inquisitive nature and an active imagination, qualities that would later shape both his approach to acting and his connection to audiences around the world. Growing up, Cooper was a thoughtful and observant child, often drawn more to books,
films and storytelling than to sports or social activities. He was fascinated by how people behaved, by the emotions that motivated their choices, and by the stories that shaped their lives. This curiosity about human nature, paired with a relentless drive to explore new experiences, became a defining trait. He once said that as a boy, he dreamed of becoming a ninja or a soldier, but somewhere along the way, he realized that acting could allow him to explore countless lives and emotions without leaving the stage or screen. His teenage years were shaped by a love of learning and a growing passion for performance. He attended Germantown Academy, where he excelled academically and participated in school plays, discovering a natural ease in front of an audience. Though shy in some settings, he found that acting allowed him to express thoughts and emotions he might otherwise keep hidden. After graduation, he continued his education at Georgetown University, where he majored in English and became more deeply involved in theater, even spending time abroad to study language and literature. But it was during this period that Cooper's ambitions crystallized. Acting was no longer just an interest, it was a calling. Determined to pursue it seriously, he enrolled at the prestigious Actors Studio Drama School at the New School in New York City, where he honed his craft under the guidance of some of the industry's most respected mentors. The training was intense and transformative, teaching him discipline, vulnerability, and the importance of authenticity, values that would underpin his performances throughout his career. What began as a childhood curiosity had now become a clear and focused dream. As Cooper prepared to step into the competitive world of acting, he carried with him not just technical skill, but a deep emotional intelligence, a rare ability to inhabit characters with both truth and complexity. It was this combination of talent and sensitivity that would soon make him one of Hollywood's most compelling and respected actors.
Bradley Cooper's path into the world of professional acting was neither immediate nor effortless. After completing his training at the Actors Studio Drama School, he faced the same obstacles that challenge so many aspiring performers: rejection, anonymity, and the endless hustle of auditions. Yet what set him apart, even in those early days, was an unshakable belief in the value of persistence and a willingness to learn from every small opportunity. His first screen appearances were modest, a brief role on the television series Sex and the City in the late 1990s, and a part in the short-lived show The Street, but they gave him a glimpse of the realities of the industry and the confidence to keep pushing forward. His first significant break came when he was cast as Will Tippin, a journalist and friend to the main character in the hit television series Alias, 2001 to 2006. The role showcased his natural charisma and emotional depth, earning him early recognition and proving that he had the talent to hold his own alongside established stars. Still, Cooper refused to become complacent. He spent the following years exploring a wide range of projects, from romantic comedies to dramatic guest roles, steadily building a versatile resume and sharpening his craft. It was in cinema, however, that Cooper's career truly began to take shape. In 2005, he appeared in Wedding Crashers, a film that became a cultural phenomenon and introduced him to a global audience. Though he played the antagonistic boyfriend Sack Lodge, Cooper infused the role with a dynamic energy that made him stand out amid a star-studded cast. More comedic roles followed, but rather than settling into typecasting, he consciously sought characters that would challenge him and reveal new dimensions of his talent. That decision paid off spectacularly with The Hangover in 2009.
As Phil Winnick, the charismatic yet flawed leader of a group of friends caught in a whirlwind of misadventure, Cooper delivered a performance that balanced humor, vulnerability, and heart. The film's massive success transformed him from a promising actor into a bona fide star, opening doors to more ambitious and complex projects. The next phase of his career was marked by a bold shift toward dramatic roles. Films like Limitless, 2011, and The Place Beyond the Pines, 2012, revealed his ability to portray internal struggle and moral conflict with nuance and authenticity. But it was Silver Linings Playbook, 2012, directed by David O. Russell, that marked a defining moment. As Pat Solitano, a man rebuilding his life after a mental health crisis, Cooper gave a deeply empathetic performance that earned him his first Academy Award nomination and established him as one of Hollywood's most serious dramatic actors. This period also showcased his growing interest in storytelling beyond acting. He began exploring the possibilities of producing and even directing, motivated by a desire to shape narratives from the ground up. Each choice he made reflected a maturing artistic vision, one that valued emotional truth, character complexity, and the transformative power of cinema.
As Bradley Cooper entered the later chapters of his career, his work began to reflect a profound artistic maturity and a deepening personal philosophy about storytelling. No longer driven merely by the pursuit of fame or commercial success, he focused instead on projects that challenged him creatively and emotionally, stories that spoke to the human condition and allowed him to explore the complexities of love, ambition, pain, and redemption. It was this evolution, more than any single film, that cemented his status as one of the most respected figures of his generation. A pivotal moment came with American Sniper, 2014, directed by Clint Eastwood. Cooper's portrayal of Navy SEAL Chris Kyle was both intensely physical and deeply introspective, a performance that captured the psychological weight of warfare and its consequences on the human spirit. The film's success, both critically and commercially, proved his ability to anchor deeply serious, character-driven stories and earned him another Academy Award nomination. Yet even with such achievements, Cooper's ambitions stretched beyond acting alone. In 2018, he took a bold leap by stepping behind the camera for the first time as a director with A Star is Born. It was a deeply personal project, one he had nurtured for years, and it showcased the full range of his talents, not only as a filmmaker and actor, but also as a co-writer and producer. His portrayal of the troubled musician Jackson Maine was raw and vulnerable, marked by a quiet intensity that revealed the pain beneath the character's rugged exterior. The film's enormous success, including multiple Oscar nominations and a Golden Globe for its iconic music, marked a turning point in his career and confirmed his place as a multifaceted storyteller. In the years that followed, Cooper continued to push boundaries. His role as Leonard Bernstein in Maestro, a project he also directed and co-wrote, demonstrated his fearless commitment to complex, layered characters and his relentless pursuit of authenticity. It was a performance that required immense emotional and intellectual depth, exploring not just the genius of a legendary composer, but the contradictions and sacrifices that defined his life. Through roles like these, Cooper evolved into a cinematic craftsman, an artist who saw acting, writing, and directing as interconnected ways of exploring truth. What makes Bradley Cooper's legacy so compelling is not just the acclaim or awards, though they are many, but the consistency of his artistic vision.